I'm going to take y'all through the build of this tercel here that we've been working on. And here's what you see. Fiat twin cam. This is actually the 1500 motor. I have a 1600, but it's going to need a rebuild. So I got this and this transmission. Craigslist fine. And we got it put in here. Got these motor mounts made. Used actually a transmission mount for these motor mounts. And I'm going to fill these with polyurethane so they're stiffer. Make sure everything's good. This is the front tension rod mount I made, which may double as a mount for sway bar in the future, but for now I'm going to try to use the factory tercel sway bar just as a budget thing. As most of you, I'm on a really tight budget with this build, so that's the way that goes. So move around here. This is the fender we started flaring, and it's coming out pretty good. It's got quite a bit more welding work to do and hammer and dolly work. We'll get it there. Give you a walk around, then we'll give you a tour underneath. So here it is. The inside. Picked up these Jetta K2 seats. I have a Volkswagen at the U-Pullet yard. Pretty good except for this one. My wife says that she'll try to replace that part for me. I'm not going to go as far as getting them all the way recovered. It's just not in the budget. See where we cut out and put the transmission in. It didn't take much, but definitely it's going to raise it up some. We're going to have to cut the middle. You can see that there. Middle support is going to have to come out. I am going to bend some square tubing to go in there. Have what's called a 2020 compact bender, and I can bend up to 1.25 inch square tube or round tube, and it does a really nice job on the square tube. I'll show you a piece underneath when we get around to the other side. I know somebody asked about seeing how I'm going to do this rear fender flare, and I'll set the camera up and take a video when I do that. But basically, gonna have to cut just like I did the front one, and then it'll have to be cut on the inside too, so you'll actually have to make 2 panels in there. Hoping it's gonna work out okay. Well, you never know till you start doing it, and if you work metal well, you just make it work. So here's the rear end that we got put in. These mounts need to be welded, and of course I'm gonna gusset them in. I think I am going to put a little longer gusset in with a flat spot, so I got some place good to put jack stands for changing wheels at the track and whatnot. Rear end, everything's coming along pretty good in here. I'm going to have to raise these axle mounts, these shock mounts a little bit, probably about 2 inches, because I want to lower the ride height a pretty good bit, and I think I got them a little off, but that's okay. They're only welded at the top, so it shouldn't be that big a deal to cut them out and fix them again. A little higher up, lose a little more trunk space, but it'll be alright. You see, that's going to have to be cut out there, and I'm going to have to reinforce all of that. But it's coming along. This saw still needs to be welded in and ground down, but it'll get to it. There's this side, and hadn't really done anything except for try to strip this fender down. 240 SX front spindles and control arm tension rods. So by making this fit like this, I should be able to get pretty much any aftermarket 240SX stuff and replace this fairly easily, and maybe make an adapter, you know, or modification for where the sway bar mounts. But we hadn't got that far yet. And up under here, here's one of these bent metal square tubing that I told you we can do on the 2020 compact bender. It's been a really good tool. I really enjoy having it. And so that's what I've come up with. I think it's going to work. You know, I made a mount for that, and then I'll have strapped across the bottom. Here's some of that bent metal, and I'm going to make another mount on the other side out of that. I always try to keep some of that stuff around. You see the transmission mount I made with my roller skate bushings for isolating bushings. I think it's going to work just fine. Probably going to mount some kind of chassis stiffening between here and there, and maybe tied into the back somehow, maybe tied into these also. Probably tied into these. That would only make sense, being they're there already. It's easy enough to do. I think we're going to have to keep this two-piece drive shaft because of the way the Fiat works. I don't know if many of you know, but it's got a weird rubber donut on the transmission. But as long as you replace that donut, they seem to work okay. Apparently these drive shafts get out of whack, so it's probably going to have to be retubed with a different universal joint for the back. When I grabbed the rear end, I should have grabbed the yoke, and well, I should have just grabbed the whole drive shaft, but I didn't. So if anyone's got a flange, yoke flange, is that what it would be called, to fit a 85 RX-7 GSL rear end, give me a call, because I need to get one. Although the drive shaft shop may have that, you know, no problem. I see over here on the driver's side there's a little bit of damage to the floor. That's really pretty much the only place this car's got any major rust. That's going to get cut out where the floors come from the frame rail there. All that's going to get fixed. I'm going to make some frame connectors from, you know, subframe connectors, I guess you would call it, that probably run on the inside of the car to the back subframe rails, which is only about 2 foot. But they're probably going to have some bends or something to make them work. So here you can see, you know, how I made the tension rod mount off of the factory. And I mean, I stole this design from the T3. They have a Starlet suspension that looks like it would almost bolt right on this car, but I don't have $1,200 to buy it. But I do have a lot of metal tools to make it. So that's what we did, and it seems to work. I've got to go through this mess of a wiring harness and probably thin it down afterwards, but I'm going to try to keep most of the stock harness and, you know, use Toyota modules on this Fiat motor, or sensors, you know. See how it works. I may replace the dash with a tablet, because I don't know, it kind of seems the thing to do these days, and as much as I like my retro gauges and everything, it would be nice to have all the information you could ever want, you know, in your dash. So I guess that's it, and that's my tercel build for now, and I'll make an update video when I get some more done. Y'all have a good day.